Early 15th century Ming Dynasty. A rebel named Haman, who has risen up against the emperor, kidnaps the daughter of a wealthy merchant, Chen Yui-Qin, in order to gain access to her father's legendary treasure vault. The key to these vast riches is an amulet held by Yui-Qin's husband, Duan Shi, a fearless warrior. Accompanied by his loyal friend Liu Yuheng, Duan sets out for Haman's camp, though he still doesn't know what to do. He can't hand the amulet over to an enemy of the empire, but he can't leave his wife in captivity either. The world of Chinese wuxia is incredibly rich. Online literature in China is practically inseparable from print, and films made for streaming, though lower in budget than theatrical releases, still often look like full-fledged big-screen productions. At the same time, no one really tries to systematize this ever-expanding cultural landscape, so information often has to be pieced together bit by bit. For example, it's never stated anywhere, but Desert Lone Hero is not a standalone film. It's the second entry in an improvised franchise built on characters created by writer and screenwriter Deng Yuming. These characters first appeared in the 2020 web film The Storm Swords. Although the project wasn't a hit, the producers decided to give Duan Shi and Liu Yuheng another chance by continuing their story in Desert Lone Hero. And at the same time, they recast the leads with higher-profile actors. While Desert Lone Hero tells a different story than The Storm Swords, it plays like a kind of reboot of a potentially interesting franchise, one that this time is technically more polished and genre-correct. Nearly all the action takes place in a small town lost in the desert, and the story is, for lack of a better term, mass-market wuxia, a historical action mystery filled with numerous characters and a tangled web of conflicts and relationships. Every 10 minutes, new characters appear, some of the old ones die, and someone inevitably betrays someone else. It's not exactly difficult to follow, but it definitely demands the viewer's attention. There are many characters, each with their own goals and paths toward them, and an unprepared or inattentive viewer will sooner or later get lost in the crowd. The female characters are especially tricky to keep track of. There are a lot of them, and they're introduced and removed from the plot, with almost no setup. On the other hand, this approach gives Desert Lone Hero a brisk pace, which suits it very well. Special mention must go to the action, which strongly echoes the style of Hong Kong wuxia films from the early 1990s, when the genre was at its peak. The fighters are always sharp and swift, and the cinematographer captures every movement from unusual yet visually striking angles, just as the Hong Kong masters taught, one of whom, incidentally, worked on this film. That would be action choreographer Ma Yuk-sing, a true legend of martial arts cinema, credited here as the fight scene supervisor. Thanks to his contribution, Desert Lone Hero may not be the clearest or most structurally refined film in the world, but for anyone who misses 1990s Hong Kong wuxia, it's certainly one of the most nostalgic.